Hello, everyone. My name is Miss Muller. I am your professor for college algebra this fall. I wanted to give you a brief overview of the different important things that you will find on this Canvas page that will be very helpful for the entire semester. So this is where you should be taken when you first click on our Math 1050 page. I have some important links here. There are no announcements yet as of me making this video, but there should be an announcement that you will be able to see once you're actually watching this. We also have the syllabus, which I will be going over very briefly right now, but in more detail on day one. The modules tab is probably the most important tab that you'll need to click, besides the Access Pearson tab. The modules tab is where everything will be organized by week. It will have your notes, it will have places to upload your assignments, and it's where I will be inputting your grades. The Access Pearson button is going to be taking you to our particular homework platform, which is with the Pearson MyLab company. So Pearson is the publisher of the textbook we are using, and MyLab is their homework system. It's going to look a lot different for me than you because I have the instructor view. But we have all of our homework assignments for this semester. At least the final answers will be going here on the website. An example of what an assignment is going to look like is that pretty much every assignment has 15 questions. You can choose what order that you want to do the questions. You can view an example if you're confused on what to do, though I wouldn't rely on that since you'll eventually have to know how to do everything on your own. And you can also click Get More Help and send me an email if you need additional help as well. You don't just get one chance, you basically get unlimited chances for these problems. So don't just guess and check, though. Actually show your work, since work is very important to me, as I'll explain soon, and complete the homework where hopefully you'll be able to complete it with 100% each time. That's the goal. So, back to our page. The only other tab that I highlight here, which if you're watching this, you must have found it, is the Kaltura course gallery. I don't plan on uploading any other videos this semester unless for some reason we have to take a virtual day. So any videos that I create where so far it's just my introduction video, which go watch that if you haven't already, plus this video will be available there. And so I can't make that picture any smaller. There's a big picture of myself, some info, more intro about me. Um, so let's see what the syllabus looks like very briefly. If you come here, it says all the information about where our class is, when we meet, my contact information, my office hours, some important dates, including the tentative dates of all of our exams. So for this course, we are supposed to be having our first midterm October 1st, our second October 24th, our third November 21st, and then we have the first day of finals week, which is Thursday, December 5th, is when we're supposed to have our cumulative final exam. We do have two different books that you will be using. One is the textbook, which you do not need to buy a physical copy of. It comes with the Pearson MyLab that you will be required to sign up for. And then there's also a workbook that is going to be available through the bookstore that is going to have lots of different practice problems, practice tests, and even some solutions of things that we will be discussing throughout this semester. And it's especially important because those will be some in-class activities that we will be doing all semester long. There's lots of information here. One of the important things that I want to highlight is how I'm going to be running the course, so the methods of instruction. So as long as it's not an exam day, we're usually going to have a class discussion of the preview notes for the day, which is an introduction to the topics of that day's lecture, which most likely are going to come from the actual workbook. Lecture plus mandatory note taking. You don't have to upload your notes, you just need to show me them at the end of class. And then the in-class worksheets that are also going to come from the workbook that review the content taught in class. The majority of class will be lecture, but there will be some time to be able to work on practice problems as well. Your homework, as I already explained, is with My Math Lab. You are going to have to go through the Access Pearson tab in order to be able to sign up for it. But in order to get the access code that you need, you'll have to go either through Red Shelf or through the actual course website. So if you were to, I don't think it's going to show anything up for me, but if you click on Red Shelf, it should theoretically show you that you need to buy MyLab, and it will, and when you purchase it, it gives you, I believe it's 16 or 18 weeks access to the Pearson MyLab course that we have. And but if that doesn't work, you can go to AUM's bookstore website and you should be able to do the same thing by searching our particular course's information. So like I had mentioned before, you have 3 different exams. The first 3 are non-cumulative. The last one is cumulative. And because um, this is a more structured course, it is pretty much all of the exams and everything are going to be very universal across all the different classes. And so it's going to be mostly multiple choice, but with a few written problems. And although I like to emphasize written work on homework, that means for the multiple choice problems, you don't have to necessarily show work. However, I want to show you how important it is to be able to do things without necessarily guessing or relying on a calculator. So your homework will require the type of work that you'll need to show on those written problems throughout the semester. If you want to see the tentative schedule, this is what, based on the lectures that I've written and the length of them, this is approximately what I have worked out. So you'll see how we have a lot of material to learn before the first exam, but hopefully the chapter 1 stuff that we're learning before Labor Day is review of things that you've seen before. If it's not, then we can just spend more time in class or in office hours, or if you're taking the co-requisite course, in there as well, practicing the concepts. And then the only times that we have off this semester are Labor Day, which actually is a 5-day weekend since we have no classes on Fridays, and then we have the Monday and the Tuesday off. And then we also have a full week off for Thanksgiving break. So we have 15, 16 weeks of classes. I think it's 16 if you count Thanksgiving break. And any assignments that are available are going to be under this course summary as well. You don't have to rely on this course summary. There will also, I'll be stating in the announcements when things are going to be due and in class. So the modules, you are not going to see as much as what I'm going to show you since I have the instructor view, but the very first thing that you'll see is the student resources. So the student resources are going to have your registration instructions for our specific course, as well as some helpful links that probably a lot of your course pages have. I also make a reminder that if you haven't seen the introductory videos, go see them, or if you need to see them again. There will be a completed notes tab as the semester goes on, but what you should be able to see day 1 is this week 1 tab. So you'll see how it's going to have both days that we are meeting that week, and all of the important things for you to download and upload are going to be on here. So for day 1, you see that we're going to have a scavenger hunt. It's not really a scavenger hunt, it's just filling things out and scavenger hunting the Canvas page. That will be where you will upload that assignment that I will hand out in class. I also have blank versions of notes for you to download if you would like to follow along the structure that I am going to be presenting in class instead of trying to write down every single little thing. I'll have a few of these notes printed out for you so that you can see how helpful they are. There's also going to be links to the individual homework assignments that you will be able to directly go, or actually, I'm not sure if it's going to directly go to it in MyLab. It might just house the grade. That's something we'll have to experiment, but you can always go to Access Pearson for your homework assignments at the Access Pearson tab in case it comes to that. And then I am going to require written work for many of the problems this semester, not every single one. And anytime you click on an assignment, it will say in the description what problems require written work. And the written work, it's not going to be a ton of work. Like you saw that very first problem that I previewed earlier where it said solve for M. I might even still have that open. I do. So Even though it might look intimidating right now, this honestly doesn't require more than 2 or 3 lines of work. And so once you learn the material in class, you'll see that I will give a little more detailed version of how I expect you to show the work. And I just want to know that you didn't just guess or look up the question. There are some questions, though, that don't really require any work. Like, for example, you're literally just going to be rewriting this interval. You'll see how to do that day one. And so this isn't something that really requires written work, it just requires looking at your notes and then writing the appropriate thing. So, so basically written work is going to be very, very important. If you get a problem correct on my lab, and it doesn't require written work, you're going to get 100% for that problem's written work. But otherwise, if you get it correct on my lab, you have to make sure that you're also justifying your answer in your written work. This is really going to help you with the practice that you need since we don't have that much time in class to do problems, so that you're prepared for any type of written problem on the exams this semester. So hopefully you'll get used to it. It'll be just 1 or 2 homework assignments a week. And I have plenty of office hours. You can come and help me. And also, I'm available over email all day long. If you want to see your grades, we have a grades tab. I don't plan on having any discussions, but in case you wanted to start one, this is a place that you would go to. And then if you want an easy way to access your email without having to log into my AUM, there's the Office 365 tab. So that's pretty much all that I wanted to present to you today. Please let me know if you have any questions, but I will be going over this in class as well, and I'm happy to answer questions throughout this semester. I look forward to working with you all this fall in college algebra.